Welcome to Strategic Management. In our today's topic, we will discuss the nature of strategic management, where is its implications are most importantly used, and what are those implications which helps the organization to run those plans and to make those strategies in order for them to have good outcome and in order for their organization to reach to that target which all the organizations aim for, which in my previous lectures have been talked about. I've described it in detail. That is the profit and the customer satisfaction is the one they are looking for. In today's topic, we will start off the essence. In essence, the strategic plan is a company's game plan. What does it mean that company's game plan? What the company wants, such as they ask questions from themselves, where they are, where they want to be, what kind of a business they want to start, and what kind of customers they want to target, what segment of the market they want to capture. These are the essence, these are the plans which we will discuss in this chapter today. Strategic management achieves a firm's success through integration. What is integration? We combine the two. If we look into the organizational structure, we do talk about the management and we do talk about the marketing. Now, will it be viable, will it be feasible for an organization to have two separate departments and to work for the same thing? Chances are yes, but to have a shorter time period, to have that integrated departments, what they need to do is combine the two, get the same thing done from the teams of management and marketing, but working closely together as a network and achieving that desired results. That is why these two departments need to be integrated. Similarly, all the organizations, they do talk about finance and accounting. Again, the question arises, Huma, tell us that is it viable to have finance and accounting separately, or we can integrate them into one?
It's viable to separate them.
Why?
Because accounts and finance are the two different things.
Mm-hmm.
In finance department, we look around the profits and all that stuff. And in accounting process, we are going to have an income
But don't you think
statements.
that will be a waste of resource, that you are having two departments, two separate departments, and one department, your account department, is basically feeding your finance department? So don't you think that will be feasible, that will be good for the organization, where they integrate the two, make them sit together, make them work together, because account department is the one who's feeding with the numbers and figures to the finance department?
If it's on a large scale, it won't be that much feasible, because that can actually mix things, because accounts department is dealing with the day-to-day basis and finance department is dealing with the overall scenario.
Agreed.
And if they're sitting together, sometimes it can happen that they mix up things.
Okay, first of all, let me clarify. By sitting together or by having the integration part, it doesn't mean that they are sitting on the same side of the table or they are sitting in the same room. Integration means they get connected with each other, whatever that department is doing, and by that department I mean whatever accounts is doing. Yes, Huma is right, that, and Fiza is right, that they do take the daily entries. Accounts people, they go for the daily entries and feed that by the end of the day, week, month, or a quarter to the finance department. Together means that whatever they plan, whatever they decide they want to do, they can do it at the same time and save their time, save the resources, and get the same result what the company wants them to do. Remember in my previous slide what I showed you, that is the company's game plan. What is the company's game plan? Strategic plan, right? That's why we integrate these two to get that same result what we are basically looking for, right? Research and development. Research is a totally different thing, okay, and development is a totally different thing. Research is you're looking for the answers from your customers, from your consumers, from the market, from the people, from other organizations. You are looking for the answers which you have asked. On the basis of those answers, you develop something. You develop new product, you develop new service, you develop some new program for your customers. You combine the two, they give you the same result. That's what integration in the strategic plan stands for, to combine the two, save your time, save your resources, and move on into the limelight much faster, in a faster pace, and get your desired results as soon as possible. Reason, you have competitors out in the market. And once you have competitors in the market, those people will not let you live an easy life. They won't allow you to have a business the way you want to do it. You be on the edge at all times. So in order for that, you combine your resources together to get your desired results faster and in more unique way, in more proper way, so that you can move along in that structure in a faster thing. Okay, productions and operations, they basically work together in this regard. What you produce is definitely at one stage goes to your operations people. Okay, in operations we can have your marketeers, we can have your sales people, we can have your suppliers, we can have your distributors. Yes, every character works on their own separate targets, but then again the bigger picture of our plan is to design those strategies, to make those plans in order for us to achieve our targets and in order for us to be on that track faster and to reach to the largest segment of the market. That is our customers, that is our consumers, that is the geographic area, that is the demographics. We are looking at, we are tapping those areas. So we need to combine the two. The main reason to combine the two departments into one department is you have people working in that department faster. They are interrelated, they are connected with each other. If they need to ask a question and if they want to get the answer, they can do those things right there and then. And the bigger side of it, or the plus side of it, if you need to strategize your strategies, if you need to negotiate your strategies, if you have seen a flaw, you don't need to stop it over there and then wait for that person to come in and help you out. You are sitting in that area where you can find this person and they can sit together, they can rephrase themselves, they can look into those strategies, they can look into those flaws and move along with that same directions. That is the only reason that we try to integrate things into our strategic management, so that we have shorter organizational structure, we have competent people, and we have people who can really get our questions answered at that time.
So sir, basically you're saying is that you integrate between two departments?
Two related departments.
Two related departments.
You cannot combine accounting with marketing. You cannot combine production with R&D, because these are the different departments. One side is your management side, as you can see through the slide, that your one side is your management side and your other side is your marketing side. Whatever your managements are, instead of having these four different departments, see, we have integrated these four departments into just two departments: finance and accounting, research and development. Similarly, production and operations, we have combined it, management information system.
So, but don't you think so these all departments can integrate with management department, because management is the one which is controlling the whole organization?
If we see the bigger picture, like if we see the whole organization, then all the departments are actually working together.
That's true, but thing is this, your managers basically control, plan their staff, right? That's all they can do. Your marketing manager will do what? Make plans to take your product to and your services in the market, so that you can cater the needs of your customers. Okay, that manager who's in the organization makes plans for the organization to achieve his goals in return to get his organizational goals. That person will have a very limited amount of information what your people want from inside, from outside, and those people are your customers. These people, these marketers, these salespeople, these distributors, suppliers, they are out there, they are connected with your customers. So what information they collect for you as a marketing manager or as a marketer, you can pass it on to the manager. So then again, separation between your management and your marketing. We can combine them, but in all real terms, they won't be that effective if you keep them separate, but under their command, whosoever those departments are, they should be integrated to one department, under one wing. Instead of having more of hierarchy, more of people working, you have integrated into a smaller department.
Is integration is the only way to achieve a firm's success?
No, the firm's success is achieved by achieving their targets, to have proper strategies, to cater the needs and wants of your customers, to get maximum profit, to get the maximum satisfaction of your customers. Those are the things which basically helps the companies, the organizations to achieve those success levels. These integrations, these are just the stepping stones. You build these things and you move on up the ladder. These are the small things which you are looking into it. These are the things which are there for the good and for the good of the organization. These things doesn't prove, and there has been no proof as of yet, that these integration phases are the one which are the success or the milestone of the organizations. No. Satisfaction of the customers, satisfying needs and wants of the customers, being doing good for the society, these are your milestones which are your success to the
That's what our topic says as well, that strategic management achieves a firm's success through integration.
That's true. They get the success through integration, but whose firms? Smaller picture. Are you working for that smaller picture, or you're working for a bigger picture?
Of course, the bigger picture.
Where the society is, where your customers are, where the whole big picture is. For the firm's success, yes, they are, but for a bigger picture, firm's other successes, you need to do integration and beyond, right? Moving on, strategy formulation, we did talk about vision and mission statement already, external opportunities and threats. In that, we did talk about in detail about SWOT analysis, internal strength and weaknesses, which has already been discussed. Now, the next topic which we will talk about is about long-term objectives, their alternative strategies, and strategy selection. In in issues of formulation strategy, we look into the new business opportunities, business to abundant allocation of resources, expansion of diversification, international markets, mergers or joint ventures, avoidance of hostile takeovers. These are the issues. These are some of the issues in which you form strategies so that you can answer these questions. Strategy implementation is your annual objectives, their policies, employee motivation, and resource allocation. What is organizational annual object? Their objective is to produce something before the season ends or before the season begins. It is their seasonal objective. In those countries where there are few seasons, in countries where there are 4 seasons, they need to have those annual objects. We need to make maximum profit by producing maximum amount of products for the season and taking them out in the market and serving our customers and getting maximum profit. These are few of your annual objectives. At the end of the year, our profit ratio should be, say, 40-60, 30-70, whatever you decide as a manager that this is our profit which we are aiming for, and that is our annual objective, one of your annual objective. Every year we need to come out with new technology. Every year we will have something new for the customers. Every year we will design our product in such a way that customers will buy our product year after year after year. Every year we will look into our pricing strategy. Every year we will look into the advertisements or the promotion strategies. Every year we will look into anything, which helps you promote your product to the level where customer gets its needs and wants and its demands fulfilled to the max. Annual objectives are not limited objectives. They can be any and all. As I've already said, your profits, customer satisfaction, your organizational structuring, your technological changes, your internal changes, your external changes, and even you look into the major external factor, which is at times is hard to capture, is the government policies. How many taxes will be there? How many taxes are going to raise? How many taxes are going to be revised? What will happen naturally? Are we expecting good rains this year? If we are harvesting something, are we expecting floods this year? Are we expecting what? You need to make these things into your annual objectives. The question over here may be, how can we talk about natural disasters? By looking in your past, by looking in your history. You have certain amount of data which are available, which can guide you. Things can happen. Chances are there are probabilities, yes, it will happen, or no, it's not going to happen. But you have something data-wise with you, right? Policies. What policies do I need to implement? Is this policy good enough? Anybody can walk in anytime they want to in an organization, to their offices, to the factories, to the banks? No. There need to be a clear, defined policy. Your time starts at this time, your time ends at this time. We will hire so many people who will graduate this year from any university, any school, any college. Or our policies are to have low outputs, to have low expenses, to cut our overhead expenses, and to pass on this benefit, which we are doing it on our own, to the customers. And there are again many other policies which we look into it. What good we are going to do for the society this year? Okay, do we have any strategy to implement these things for the betterment of the society? Lastly, resource allocation. Whatever we are going to design this year, whatever we are going to make this year, do we have resources for it? Do we have money for it? If yes, where is that money? How we can allocate that? How much we need to allocate that? How many people we need to hire so that they can work into our business?
Sir, isn't resource allocation and employee motivation a part of your policy?
Resource allocation basically, Muneer, is you are looking for that money part. Okay, where you need to buy your raw material, where you need to do your production, where you need to fulfill your operations, right? Employee motivation is, yes, some part of that resource goes to it. Somebody is due to get increment, right? So that motivates that employee. But then again, that is just one part of your motivation. A simple holiday for this particular worker of yours is a motivation for that employee. A simple good gesture, a simple, say, award to that particular employee. These are the motivation thing. Your resources can be part of it, but not necessarily that they are part of it. Okay. You form strategies, strategy implementation, action strategy of strategic management, most difficult stage. Why? Every time you make a strategy, are you sure that you will be 100% following this strategy? Chances are yes, but then again there is a probability of no as well. Okay, the next stage in action is stage of strategic management is mobilization of employees and managers, meaning that how many employees you need in a department, how many employees you need in your manufacturing unit, how many employees you need to work for that particular job which you have made plans for, and how many managers are going to lead that team, in which you have upper managers, which are top level managers, lower or middle managers, and your supervisors or your end line managers. How many of those people you need to mobilize that. Again, there are no set rules and regulations, there are no set patterns for it. It's you as a manager, as a team lead, as a top manager, it's you who decide, and it's you who makes the plan of it. You have in that regard people working, and they will be able to help you out with that plan that how many people need to be mobilized and how many managers need to be mobilized to do that certain job. Moving on, interpersonal skills, these are your critical skills. How can you work in a team? Are you a team player? Are you the person who looks after your subordinates? Are you the person who looks after your organization? Are you the person who basically thinks of those customers who are externally out there who are going to buy your product and service? This is critical because each person's thinking is different than the other person. What you perceive, what you see, maybe it's not necessary that you do the same. The person sitting next to you, what Huma thinks may be different than what Hasib thinks. Maybe what Fiza and Muneer will perceive their thinking. See, these four people sitting in the same class, they have the same course going on, they have the same thinking pattern, but each one have their own thinking style and each one have their own perception style. It is critical. This is my team. So to say, let's think of this is an organization and this is my team. One of them is my manager, one of them is my marketer, one of them is my distributor, and another one is my supplier. Now, how these people think for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of them, for the organization and for their own good. This is something which we need to plan on and we have to be very critical about it. We have to look very deep inside that how each one individual thinks and how each one reacts to certain actions, certain comments, certain situations and certain plans which has been designed by, so to say, that organizational head or that manager. Consensus on goal pursuit, whatever you are pursuing, whatever your goals are, that's what you look into it, and we do adjust these things. We do take the consensus of it so that we should know that are we getting our goals, are we in the right pursuit of our goals, what are those things which are we working for.
Consensus of all your departments of the organization or all the people working in it?
All the people working in it, can be your department, can be your organization, can be your individual goal as well, but we have to look into it. Why did you work so hard to achieve this goal? That was your...
How can you say a consensus on individual's goal? I mean, he or she has decided one thing. It is a consensus for him or her.
Yeah, but the thing is this, did you pursue that goal in the right way? Did you pursue that goal in the shortest way? Did you pursue that goal in the most honest way? Those are the things which you are looking for. And what was that satisfaction level when you were looking, you were aiming for that goal? That's what we are looking into it. That's what we are aiming for, because you are part of somebody's team, right? If you are happy, if you are getting what you have been promised, or what plans were made out for the betterment of you as journal, combine the organizational prosperity along with the societal and the customers' prosperity, or their demands and their needs fulfillment. These things basically form one consensus, that each one was involved in it, each one was setting a goal. I do this part, I get this thing done. That's what my achievement is. Beyond that, that's the added achievement, more plus to you. You will be more motivated, you will be more rewarded, you will be more known in your team that yes, this person, he or she is a more of a team player and does the job in a right way, in a proper way, and achieves more than what they have targeted. That's a very plus point for the managers. Somebody like yourself is in that team. So that's what this individual consensus stands for.
So don't you think this consensus is on part of executive level? Like on strategic level, organization has different goals and they have to decide which one we should pursue.
Can be on a higher level, can be in the lower level, because see, we are just talking about the consensus of the goals which you pursued. Okay, we haven't mentioned it, whether it is for the higher manager, whether it is for the labor. We just did give you the plan of it, that how you need to implement that this strategy, right? The best part is for a manager is to start from the top and bring it all the way down. Reason, what you do is is the mirror, or is a mirror reflection on the person who's way down, who's your labor, that if this manager, if my boss is doing this thing, why cannot I do this thing? This forms a good team, this forms a positive vibe in your team, and then you achieve your goals. The bigger picture of your goals is basically not your individual goals, but your organizational goals. So that's why they always look for this thing. You can have anywhere. You can start this thing from anywhere, from top bottom or from bottom top. That's not a rule of thumb that no, this is where we will start. You can start off from anywhere you want, right? Moving on, strategy evaluation talks about internal review, external review, and performance metric and corrective actions. Your internal review, how do you look your organization from inside? Are they the organization which are really doing good for the society, or is this the organization which you really want to work in? Is your organization properly equipped with the technologies, with the manpower, with the resource, and all the resources are allocated properly? These are the things you look into it. What you say, what you plan inside your organization, you deliver that as well. Or is it vice versa, that what you say, you don't do it? Internally, what you people decide, internally what you people think, internally what you do for the person working with you or person next to you. How do you take your computation? These are your internal reviews which you have to look for it, and you have to look for your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. Combine all these factors, you basically evaluate. You evaluate your strategies, whether I'm doing good, whether I'm doing bad, whether I have more strength than weaknesses, or whether I have more threats than opportunities. These are the things which you need to answer yourself. Do I have a right team to work in my organization? Do I have the right people who are working for my organization? Am I producing the right thing? Am I giving the right services to the customers and the consumers? This is what you need to do. Definitely what you need to do means that there is that team who is looking into these matters and guiding you in such a way that yes, you are reviewing each and every step of your organizational process. Each and every plan is being reviewed, each and every strategy is being reviewed. Externally, again, what your competitors are doing for you. Externally, what economy is doing with you. Externally, are your customers being satisfied? Externally, what is there that product of yours or that service of yours is doing good for the society. Performance metrics, as we did talk about SWOT analysis, performance matrices is something in which you evaluate your worker, your manager, your supervisor, your operation managers, your marketers, your suppliers, your distributor, whatever they are performing, and you design those matrices in such a way that whatever they do, whatever that daily job they do, you put certain numbers in there, and by the end of the day, week, month, or even the year, you look into those performances, you add up the numbers, and then you figure it out whether the performance of that one individual was good, what was there that kept you moving on, and what was there which made you realize that this manager, this supervisor, this employee, they were not working up to the mark. That's your performance matrix which they are talking about. I hired Muneer and I found out that he is not capable of being my marketing manager or being my marketeer. Was that the right decision on my part as a manager? No. Do I need to take corrective actions for it? Yes, immediately. Let's not wait for a longer period of time. The more I wait, the more problems I will face, the more resources I will lose, and my organization will be falling back in competition wise, in manufacturing wise, in production wise, and I will be losing customers. Do I want to do that? The answer is simple, no. I want to be in the market, I want to be there at all times. Reason that I want to capture the maximum number of customers, and in order for them to give them the quality product, service, whatever they are demanding for, and do something good for the society as well. Strategy evaluation also talks about the final stages of strategic management, which is subject to future modification. What are we doing today? Are we going to do it in future as well? Of course not. We need to modify our plans, we need to modify our services, and we need to modify our product as well. Today's success is no guarantee for future success, meaning that if you don't change yourself for the future, you will not be sure about that whatever you have gained today, you will not be having any guarantees about that these things will be retained and sustained for the future. And future doesn't mean that you're looking somewhere 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Future means that even after a week, some competitor comes out with something better. Have you planned for that future? No. You need to look into it. Why? Because today's success is no guarantee for your future. New and different problems, meaning that every day you face new and different problems. Every day complication of these problems leads you to the demise, means you demotivate yourself, you are step back, you have been back-footed. Do you want to do that in the organization? Of course not. You want to be there, out there, to be the leader, to be the first one, to be the innovator. These are the things, these are the materials which we look into it, that we need to make our plans, we need to make the strategies, we need to implement them, and we need to evaluate them. In our next lecture, we will talk about prime task of strategic management, and this is where we will discuss in detail about what this task is all about. Hopefully, in today's lecture, you did understand what your implementation stage and your evaluation stage is. In short, I like this particular saying that today's success is no guarantee for your future success. Keep this in mind. What you plan for today, what you implement today, it's not there that it's going to last for a long time. You need to be on your toe, because you are in a cutthroat competition, and where you lack, you are behind. You need to be there at all times, so that your competitors should not catch up with you, and you should be doing good for your society, for your customers, and for your own good. To be there as a market leader, to be there on the maximum side of your profits, and your organization should grow tenfold every time you implement and you evaluate your strategies. Thank you.